Say hi.
Do you take her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since early 7000 BC, cannabis has been known to be one of the most profitable markets in the country, in the entire nation. Thomas Jefferson once said that hemp, cannabis, is one of the first necessities to the wealth and protection of the entire country. This came from our founding fathers who knew how to make this country what it became today. Take, for instance, imagine a world where there was no gasoline. It's possible. People huff gasoline to get high, do they not? Imagine if gasoline became illegal, just because you could possibly get high off of this substance. The argument in itself is nonsensical. Prohibition in itself has never worked. It will never work. It didn't work with the prohibition of alcohol. Alcohol rates raised 6%. Alcohol poisonings raised during the prohibition, during the first year of the prohibition of alcohol. Prohibiting something that is in high demand to the citizens of the country is never going to work. People are always going to find a way to get it. They are always going to find a means and a way. What has happened to a world when drug dealers do not want you to legalize marijuana? Could it be the mass millions of dollars that they make off of this product every year? Probably. When the government officials have said that they could make almost $40 billion a year off of this by taxing it, regulating the sale, regulating the use, the growth, and owning one of the most profitable markets that this country has known, but yet cannabis remains illegal. The first marijuana law in Jamestown Colony, Virginia, in 1619 actually mandated the growth of the hemp plant. You could actually be arrested and charged if you were not growing cannabis. It could be used to pay taxes. It can be used to pay debts. You can make paper, rope, clothing, cellophane. There have been over 5,000 medical uses that are beneficial to people's health. All of the lies that the country has been told for over 70 years, I understand it's difficult for a politician to stand there and say, sorry, we lied to you for all these years, and now we found that this substance that we told you is so horrible is really so great. But that's simply the fact. It's not ever going to go away. You can use cannabis in more ways than you could ever imagine. And if we furthered the research in that, we might possibly be able to find better ways to use this product. They've even recently found a way to make biodegradable diesel fuel. This could be more profitable than any gasoline or oil substance. It grows in almost any environment. It can grow out in the middle of the desert with very little water, mass heat. It can grow in cold. This is a product that we can use in so many ways. Medical conditions have been improved rapidly since they now have made it legal to have medical marijuana, but only in some states. It eases pain in cancer patients from their chemotherapy. It's even been linked to relieving morning sickness and nausea, headaches, migraines in pregnant women. If they can say that it's safe for a pregnant woman to use this substance, how can it be such a danger to society? No one has ever gone home and beat their wife and kids because they went out and smoked a joint. It has never happened. Police chief of the Seattle department, also a PhD in drug use, once said that he goes home and drinks a 12-pack of beer every single day. You could possibly say that he started out on milk. The argument that this could be a gateway drug is null and void. It's nonsensical. It's simply a choice that we make, and the government is literally feeding into the black market by doing this. It's possible that maybe these young children and adults that want to use marijuana but are forced to go to the black market to get it are introduced to cocaine, heroin, other harder drugs that the economy should be worried about that have significant dangerous effects, but yet there's no medical tests that have been done recently that evaluate any dangerous side effects of the use of marijuana alone. There's no lung cancer, no black lung disease, no emphysema. Literally, it's been the only product that's been proven in a 2007 study to actually stimulate the growth of brain cells. That's the only product that they have ever tested that has shown that ability. Now, in the 1970s, Dr. Donald Reagan conducted a study on monkeys that concocted this idea that marijuana killed brain cells. What they didn't tell you is that they put a mask, an enclosed airtight gas mask, over this monkey's face and administered the strength of 20 Colombian joints over a 5-minute span, 5 times a day. And then in 6 months concluded that this attributed to their brain cell loss, when really they were literally suffocating the monkeys and lacking them of oxygen, which we all know kills brain cells.
Right.
The entire argument in itself is nonsensical. Everything about the prohibition law, trying to spend millions of dollars on a war on drugs, on something that has never been dangerous to society. It could be one of the most beneficial products that we have. We can tax it, we can regulate it. Example given, alcohol. We have these tobacco and alcohol products that are legal to the economy and the country every day that kill millions of people. Millions. But yet, we sit here and sustain the economy, the country as a whole, from the one product that could possibly bring us back from this recession. $40 billion a year attributed to our government and our deficit and our debt, when we're spending $18 billion a year to fight a war that will never end. For something that is a choice that someone makes, whether it be a necessity, whether it be a desire to use this substance, regardless, it has no known negative effects. No brain loss, it actually helps. No lung cancer like cigarettes, no studies ever found. If these studies were out there and they had proven marijuana to be damaging to your health, they would have put it out there. Every recent study that has been done has shown some new benefit to the use of. And the industrialization, the industrial hemp, the many uses that we can get out of that, I could go on and on for days. But I think Joe Rogan said it best. He's a TV host. He used to be on Fear Factor. Everybody loves him. He said, what's the point? I could jab a fork in my eye. Are we going to outlaw forks? I could go jump off of a bridge. Are we going to outlaw bridges? Come on, let's nerf the world. Can we make it all safe for everyone? No. But could we regulate this and keep it off of the streets and maybe out of the hands of minors who are not of age to make decisions like that if they want to use a substance like this, even though marijuana has also been proven to be non-addictive? You have no withdrawal signs from discontinuing the use. It is simply something that is natural to us, natural to our economy. It's the most vital natural resource that we hold, and it is illegal, and it makes no sense. Any argument that anyone could bring upon, I promise you that I will give you an answer. I will give you something recent, something studied, that will show you that there is no negative aspects of this plant whatsoever. So somewhere, someone needs to stand up and realize that, politics aside, whoever doesn't want to stand up and say, hey, we were wrong, the studies weren't correct, they weren't conducted right, we've done these recent studies and we've shown that this is a benefit, hey, we're sorry. Now the government steps in taxes it, makes money off of it, benefits the economy off of it, regulates it. They'll own the entire cropping industry, and it will all go to the benefit of the nation as a whole. There's no one thing that anyone can say that can make it a bad thing. It's never going to be a bad thing. It's an awesome thing that we are holding back from the entire country. And I think that it would just be a better society as a whole if people would just realize this. There was 55,000 marijuana users in a 1962 census. There's over 55 million now. Prohibition hasn't decreased the use, hasn't decreased the sale. It's increased, it's influctuated. That's 100,000% increase in the use of marijuana. So somewhere we need to sit down and reevaluate our views about this substance being illegal.
It's done.